Welcome to our study on faith and works in the book of James, Faith in Action. Today we will explore one of the most well-known and debated teachings in the Bible, James' declaration that faith without works is dead. Many people see a tension between faith and works, but James teaches us that they are not in opposition but rather two parts of the same whole. Genuine faith leads to action, and today we'll see why this is so important for our Christian walk. The relationship between faith and works is one of the central themes of James's letter. James, the brother of Jesus, takes a very practical approach to faith. He challenges believers to move beyond passive belief and engage in active obedience. He famously says in James 2 verse 26, "Faith without works is dead." But what does this mean? Does James suggest that we earn salvation by doing good works? Absolutely not. Instead, James argues that true faith naturally produces works. This teaching aligns with Jesus' words in Matthew 7 verse 16 to 20, where he tells us that we recognize true faith by its fruits, the way it's lived out in action. One of the clearest explanations of this theme comes from James 2:14 to 26. James begins with a challenging question. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? That's James 2 verse 14. Then he gives a powerful illustration. Imagine seeing a person in desperate need, hungry and without clothing. If we simply say, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but do nothing to help, our words are meaningless. James's point is clear. Just as empty words cannot feed or clothe someone, faith without action is lifeless. He then states the famous line, "In the same way, faith by itself, if it's not accompanied by action, is dead." James 2:17. Faith without works is not just weak, it is dead. It's lifeless, ineffective, and without power. James lays the foundation for his argument earlier in his letter in James 1:22 to 25. He says, "Do not merely listen to the word, so you deceive yourself. Do what it says." James 1:22. James compares hearing the word without action to looking in a mirror and forgetting your reflection. Imagine checking your appearance in the morning but walking away and forgetting what you looked like. It would be pointless. Likewise, reading or hearing the Bible without applying it to our lives lead to self-deception. Faith is not about just knowing the truth, it is about living the truth. To reinforce his point, James gives us two powerful examples from Scripture, Abraham and Rahab. Abraham, faith leading to obedience, according to James 2 verse 21 to 24. James recalls how Abram trusted God completely, even when he asked to sacrifice his son Isaac. Genesis 22. Abram's faith was not just belief, it was demonstrated through obedience. James 2:22 says, "His faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did." The second one is Rahab, faith expressed through works. James 2 verse 25. Rahab, a Gentile prostitute, is another example. She demonstrated her faith by helping the Israelite spies, Joshua 2. Her actions were a direct result of her belief in the God of Israel. These examples show us that faith isn't about our status or background, it's about our response to God. James makes a sharp distinction between two kinds of faith. Living faith produces good works, leads to transformation, expresses trust in God through action. Dead faith is passive and lifeless, is merely intellectual belief, and does not result in obedience. Then James makes a shocking statement. You believe that there is one God. Good. Even the demons believe that and shudder. That is James 2 verse 19. James is telling us that the mere belief in God's existence isn't enough. Even demons know who God is, but their belief does not lead to obedience. True faith is not just believing the right things, it's about living them out. So, how do we apply this teaching to our lives? Genuine faith is transformative. True faith changes us. It should lead to compassion, truthfulness, generosity, and humility. Faith is evidenced by works. Matthew 7 verse 16 tells us, "By their fruit you will recognize them." Our faith should be visible in our actions. Faith and works must be balanced. Some emphasize faith alone, while others focus only on works. James calls for a balance, faith that naturally leads to action. James's message is clear and practical. Faith is not just believing in God, it is trusting and obeying Him. James 2:26 tells us, "Faith without works is dead." Abraham and Rahab's examples show that true faith always leads to obedience. So what does that mean for us? We are not called to be passive Christians. We are called to live out our faith daily through love, service, and obedience to God. To close, let's reflect on these questions. How does James' teaching challenge our understanding of faith? In what ways can you actively demonstrate your faith in daily life? Are there areas where you struggle to put faith in action? Take a moment to think about how you can live out your faith this week. Thank you for being part of the study. May we all strive to have faith that works.